Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode. So, last episode, if you guys are watching this in serial, you might have missed it. I did a bonus episode about the Dragon Festival, which is a Canthan summer celebration. There'll be an annotation on the screen to that if you missed it, because that's actually gone into a different playlist. A playlist I call the Guild Wars Side Series. You can look through that if you want. There's all kinds of different random stuff. But yeah, so back on the main Let's Play, we're still looking around with Zoe. So the next page, or what we've got is some rocks to keep the egg warm. We've hardened the egg in the Echo Valve, pretty much corrupted the baby mower inside, and it was getting really cold, so we got some nice warm volcanic rocks from the Fire Island chain for it. And we can see inside the incubator kit that there's still 4 more items, but the next page in the journal is titled Birth, so let's read it. Okay, so 27 Zolfon, 1586 of the Canthan calendar. My time in the Fire Islands was very short. Yeah, tell me about it. I plucked half a dozen rocks from one of the many lava flows, then immediately returned to the boat to make my way home. I love how it says from one of the many lava flows, as if we had the choice to go to one of the many lava flows. No, we didn't have a choice at all. We had to go to like the furthest corner away just to find it. It's just teasing you, really. Anyway, it didn't take long for me to realise that the lava rocks were certainly helping, but they're not quite hot enough. I turned back, braving the waters of sunken ore to reach the southern Shiver Peaks where the dwarves live. I needed a way to provide a constant, controlled stream of heat. Since I'm not mechanically inclined, I turned to the dwarves, who are the keepers of great furnaces and forges. Deep within the Shiver Peaks, I was led by trusted guides to their greatest furnace, where I placed the egg into Sorrow's Flame. When it emerged from the conflagration, the outer shell created by the dark waters of the Echo forest turned to ash, and all that was left was the moa egg, and that night it hatched. From the shell crawled a small black chick with an orange beak and feet. That was 3 days ago, and I think I'm ready to go home. I like how she doesn't really mention much about the chick after it's been born. It's like she's just so overwhelmed she can't even really write about it at the moment. That's kind of the way I interpret that. Anyway, yeah, so things get a little bit more complicated here now. She's actually hatched it. We can't hatch ours yet. We've still got 4 items left to get before we can actually hatch it. So we're actually going to have to skip this page, but obviously here she's gone to Sorrow's Furnace. So that will be a destination for us eventually. Also, while I'm on the page and she's talking about mechanically inclined dwarves and stuff, this is a bit off topic, but recently there's been a lot of controversy sort of through the forums and stuff about how the engineers don't fit lore, the Guild Wars 2 profession, the engineers, and they really kind of do, because the dwarves were pretty much doing what the engineers are in Guild Wars 2, and the actual story is that the Charge just took all of the dwarven technology and started developing on it. I'll go more into that later on, but these things are here, people. You can't ignore these things. Anyway, so yeah, right, so she does that, but we can't do that quite yet. Let's go to the next page and see what else we can read. 10 Mikan, 1586 of the Canthan calendar. I wish I knew what the months were so I could know exactly how far forward we're going. Anyway, the journey home went by in a blur. My thoughts were quite captivated by this tiny little creature who looks to me for sustenance and love. So helpless and sweet, how could I ever have been afraid of such a thing? I've decided to call him Onyx. The scholar from Minister Cho's estate told me that the moa is particularly fond of sugary water, so I procured some honey to sweeten his water. He mostly eats various seeds and berries, but for a treat, I give him bits of herring or some imported berries from Alona. He's starting to get pretty big, but he still remains fluffy and absolutely adorable. Right, so we get a page where we kind of have to skip, and then we get another page with loads of potential items that we could use. So the first one on the list is she's talking about getting honey to sweeten his water. Now, honey is something I will show you guys how to get, but you can only get it later in Eye of the North. This is kind of a massive cross-campaign scavenger hunt, right? And there is an item you get later in Eye of the North, which is honey. You can get it in all kinds of places, but I'll show you those later. But because we haven't got there yet in Eye of the North, I've just gone on and got some off screen. So if we look in my inventory, hidden in this bag, oh, we've got a honeycomb. Okay, so I will show you guys that. But we can put this in, and that slots nicely into that slot, easy enough. What else did the page say? Because she kind of just throws loads on you here. I really should have used the contents page, shouldn't I? Come on, come on, come on. Birth, here we go. So, he mostly eats various seeds and berries, but for a treat I give him bits of herring or some imported berries from Alona. Okay, so these 2 more items. Herring we can get first, okay? So herring is actually an item you can find somewhere in Prophecies. Let's have a look. Where do you guys think it might be? Obviously, I know where it is, so I'm going to kind of zoom into it pretty quickly. I guess the idea is this is very... I have no idea sort of who figured this out. You can kind of guess where you might be able to get fish. Could you guys guess where to get fish if you're that familiar with the world? Well, around Kryta, there's this outpost here, Fisherman's Haven. So I suppose you could start looking around there. And in fact, that's where you do have to go. It's not in Fisherman's Haven. So if we have a look around, you won't find anyone. No new NPCs have popped up selling fish or anything. They're just not here. The merchant here doesn't sell you any. So really, you have to conclude to go outside. So let's get some henchmen. This was where I first ever leveled up, guys, to level 20. And this is where we had to like say goodbye to Charlie. Speaking of Charlie, I don't use him enough, do I? There you go. Hello, Charlie. At my feet. Right, let's go on out. Also, if you're wondering about the Spirit Spam build, which I had on last episode and this episode, it's just because it's been left on there from some stuff I was doing off camera. It's not a build I'm going to be using all the time, trust me. Do not worry. So yeah, this whole kind of explorable area, as we know, we did some episodes ages ago about the Queen when we were here, if you remember, the rightful heir to the throne of Kryta and all that kind of stuff. That, and if you remember way back then, I said a long time in the future we will be coming back to these quests because they become very important later. That's still true. I mean, when I said a long time later, I really do mean a long time. It's even after Eye of the North, we'll be going back to that. That's to do with the war in Kryta. But yeah, do bear that in mind. They are still relevant. I bet everyone's forgotten about them. I forgot about them until I just got here. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. Right, so yeah, it's lots of beaches and sort of watery areas. And yeah, I guess they were a bit mean about this one, Arenanet. They just pretty much made you wander around and just keep searching and keep searching for whatever you could. So I am going to speed it up or cut it until we find someone. Obviously, I'm going to run straight to him, but yeah. Hold on, I think I've gone the complete wrong way. I think I'm supposed to come here to Riverside Province. Yeah, let's come to Riverside Province. So this was... I can't believe I just did that. That's ridiculous. Right, so yeah, this is Riverside Province. You remember this mission? What I did when I came here in the Let's Play was we came here, but we never actually walked out of the portal. We just went straight into another mission. There is actually a pathway you can take out the back here. And you can go into an explorable area I never showed you. I mean, I've been quite thorough with this Let's Play, as you guys know, but there are a lot of things I've never shown you, and I probably never will end up showing you. But yeah, there's this explorable area here called the Twin Serpent Lakes. I always get confused. I always think that's the Twin Serpents, but no. So this explorable, I guess it's named after the lakes that are here. I mean, that's a reasonable assumption, I'd say. Yeah, here we go. So this is like the most backwater area of Kryta. I mean, this area, there's no quests to do here at all. War in Kryta adds loads of quests everywhere, but I'm pretty sure there's still nothing to do here. No real dialogue ever. This is like the only reason you ever have to come here. I mean, a lot of people loved Prophecies, right, because the world is huge. I mean, nobody can deny that. It is a massive... Even though it's sectioned off, and a lot of people sort of give really bad reviews of this game, and they say, oh, it's a big world, but because you can't jump, it means you can't go everywhere, and in fact it's very small. That's so far from the truth. It is huge. You can't go everywhere you can see on the map, admittedly. You can't go to this awesome looking mountain, but there are a lot of places like this. But the major criticism is, yes, it's big, but so many of these areas they're just for walking around, really, and vanquishing. And vanquishing wasn't even something that came into the game at release. I think that they kind of bit off more than they could chew, really. They made this vast world, but never had the time to put quests all over it. Right, anyway, so yeah, here's one of the lakes. Lots of Tengu. Yay. Hello, Tengu. Here we go. Okay, so they're going to fight them. If we come over here... Oh no, I can't let them fight them. There's freaking white mantle over there. Yeah, but if we come over here, there's a collector called Grun the Fisher. Now, I don't know. I'd like to think, though, that this guy existed before Eye of the North came out and before the Black Moa whole chick quest came out. So maybe this... Oh, sorry, it's a girl. Maybe this girl was here and players had to think, oh, right, there's a collector called Grun the Fisher. Maybe she now gives me something. Whatever the case may be, if you speak to her, she now offers, in addition to her regular items, some Crichton gauntlets, she offers you a herring. Oh, but she needs 5 bog scale fins. So yeah, now I'm going to go off and farm 5 bog scale fins, and then grab this herring from her. Hopefully there's a lot of scale about. I guess the nice thing about spirit spamming right now is I can just sort of go find some on my own. I think I may end up cutting it, guys, so I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, okay, so I'm back from combing the beaches. It took me quite a while, but yeah, if we have a look now, I've got 5 bog scale fins. You just get those literally from killing the bog scales you saw me fighting here. Yeah, all over the beaches. I went to Stingray Strand and the Tears of the... They're all over Tears of the Fallen, so if you go there, then yeah. Yeah, so let's speak to Grun. Thank you very much. And she's now got a herring. So yeah, I don't know whether her name changed when the update went up or what. Or I'd like to think that it didn't change. That sort of players came along and they thought, where can I get that? And then they thought, oh yeah, there's a collector called Grun the Fisher. It's a long shot. I'll go for it. And they found it. Okay, so right, we got some herring. Hooray! We can place this in the incubator kit. Sweet. So just 2 items left. Let's read her journal again. Go back to the page Onyx. Oh no, not that page. There we go, this page. The journey went home in a blur, blah, blah, blah. Sugary water, blah, blah, blah. He mostly eats various seeds and berries, but for a treat, I give him bits of herring, check, or some imported berries from Alona. He's starting to get pretty big, but he still remains very fluffy and absolutely adorable. Okay, imported berries from Alona. Right, well, Peter, believe it or not, has never actually been to Alona. He's not even unlocked it. Have a look at this. So, let's go on to Matt and see whether Matt can help us get some imported berries from Alona. Let's do it. Okay. So we're here at Camadan, imported berries. Now I have shown you guys these berries in the Nightfall Let's Play. I'm wondering if any of you actually remember where they were. There's no real hints you can get for this piece on the map. I mean, Latenda Borg is none of it will really tell you. Nothing's like the berry plains or anything. But we have seen the berries, and it's something to do with Ronjock. Yeah, do you remember what was going on with Ronjock? In particular, a drake that was at Ronjock. Ringing any bells? No? Well, I'll show you. Let's go on up. Out into the Marga coast. Of course, this is Ronjock was the village that took us in and let us hide in the cave, the old shrine to the old temple to Melandru. And yeah, there were quite a few quests we did here with Maloney, if you remember. Wow, there's still another quest, really? What's this? Oh, this is the Signet of Capture quest, yeah. But do you remember Chuno and Toma, this drake that was eating like loads of crap up at the garrison, and they ended up taking it, and then we kind of tamed it essentially, and now it's the village guardian, and it's always very hungry. Do you remember this? Let's speak to Chuno. I'm in charge of defending and securing this village. You think you can do a better job? So yeah, this was this complete moron. Really big-headed. Insatiable appetite. This is the repeatable quest I mentioned. I keep feeding Toma, but it's never enough. This beast has an insatiable appetite. It's not much of a village guardian if it's always out snacking on the local wildlife. It looks ready to munch on the villagers at any moment. Take this monstrosity off my hands and feed it as much as you can. If you can feed it at least 5 enemies, I'll make it worth your while. Okay. I'll take your word for that. Let's do it. So you get 3 minutes, and to see how many creatures Toma can devour. So if you remember how this works, you need to weaken the enemies and then let Toma finish it off. You can't just kill things. You have to be quite careful with your placement. So let's go kill these corn guards. Actually, no, let's kill these mandragors. So yeah, Toma's here. I love Toma. In Guild Wars 2, obviously, you can get a drake as a pet, which is just hilarious. Okay, so there we go. He's devoured 1 creature. Drakes were always one of those things that I think a lot of the players always used to see and wish that they could have as pets. And in fact, you'll see when we get to the 2 creatures, you'll see when we get to the war in Kryta that you start seeing White Mantle get them as pets, which is pretty awesome. I can't wait. I'm not sure when I'm going to make a ranger in the second game, but I'm definitely going to have at least 1 pet that's a drake. Yeah. Oh, dreaming of the future. Right, so let's go kill these murmuring thorn brushes, which just murdered someone at the house. The house that potentially we thought Maloney and Kos could have gone to. Oh, and a load of insects. Never peace in Alona, eh? Come on, Toma. Cool, Christ, they do a lot. I forgot what it was like around here. I thought it was very easy. There we go. He's eaten 3 things. Can we get him to eat 5? Come on, eat up. They're all weak. There we go. 4 things. 1 minute 30 seconds left. There we go. He's eaten 5 things. That's the threshold I think we need to reach. Yeah, I can't be bothered to do anymore. Let's head back. So I don't know how many you can actually get on this. I think there's a trick people do. Sometimes there's a character in this game that I've still not talked to you guys about. I'm waiting for him to appear near me. A guy called Nicholas the Traveller. In 1 week, sorry, he wanted you to do this quest basically. And there's a really ingenious thing some people do where they get minion masters and loads of minions, and they make the minions turn hostile and just let Toma eat those, and you can get he can eat so many things so quickly by doing that. It's pretty neat. I'm not sure of the specifics of it, but you get the idea. It's pretty cool. Right, so he's eating 6 things. All mandragores and stuff, which we hate. Let's wait here with Tuno, shall we?